Hi guys, how you doing out there? Back with another one of what to look for in a self-defense school. So now we have a better idea what it is that we're looking for, and we're aware that other people will be selling what they know rather than necessarily what you want. We need to look at the other one. So let's say you know what you want and you found one of those schools that seems to fulfill at least one of those needs for you. The next thing you need to look at is how they train. Do they train under pressure and consistently under pressure? This doesn't mean there's blood on the walls. It means they have to have context in their training. When they're defending against the punch, is that punch actually going to land on somebody? When they're defending against grabs or hugs, are they just like limp noodling the hands around them, or are they actually trying to give them a good rough tug and ragdolling? You don't have to start at 100%. But you do have to have a consequence to the failure of your training. So if I'm working within a boxing framework, I can hit you in the face with a 5% jab. It's going to be an annoyance, but it is going to hit you in the face. That will tell you you haven't moved enough or you haven't parried enough. Eventually, when you get good at that, it goes to 10% to 20 to 50 to 60 to 75 to 100. Before you know it, you're trying to punch each other in the face with a jab. When you can consistently defend against that, then you add the cross, then you add the hook, etc., etc., etc. There should be progression within your drilling mindset. So you start learning the basics of the technique, but even at that level, the feed has to be authentic. The reason that the so-called sport arts tend to function better within this realm is they are totally built around someone trying to do something to you, you not letting them, or vice versa. The self-defense systems that so-called propagated as don't have this. They have limp attackers, non-committed techniques going through, and then you basically have what Bruce Lee calls a dissected corpse. So the irony is, the more rules you have in a system, the more you can pressure test that safely, and therefore the better you get. Kano found this with judo in the police championships in Tokyo. All these so-called deadly arts that could break fingers and gouge eyes and bite and all the good stuff got absolutely cleaned off the judo guys, who limited their arsenal and so were able to drill that arsenal effectively over time and under massive amounts of pressure. A tradition that was carried on with BJJ in MMA and gave us what we now have today. This isn't to say a sport is always going to be the best choice. We've already established that martial arts and self-defense are not synonymous. So rather than look at street versus sport, which is a nonsense argument, and anyone putting that forward should be avoided as a self-defense instructor, to be honest, we want to look at pressure-based training versus non-pressure-based training. Archilochus himself said in 650 BC, "You'll never rise to the occasion, you will fall to the level of your training." And provided your physical aspects of the training are done under sufficient pressure, they will serve you when pressure is applied to you in a non-compliant or non-classroom based situation. If where your training doesn't do that, makes false promises and affixes magical solutions to the techniques that they're offering, you probably should walk away from that, because you're going to have massive issues if that ever comes to play in a street situation, and you'll find your technique will fail you miserably. And that's certainly not something we want to go into. Take care, guys.